Hello everyone, welcome back to the story of Alec and Ella. Let's continue where we left off. Alec. I look to Ella. I'll take the gemcasters. She nods. Trolls for me? Pulling on my inner energy, I unleash the power of my midnight diamond. I issue a single command. Freeze. The lines of black smoke whip up from between my fingertips. Magic. The cords of power whip out across the studio floor to encircle every gemcaster in the place. The mist of my smelling spell encircles each witch or wizard before soaking into their skin. A burst of light surrounds them. When the brightness vanishes, all the gemcasters are stone. I grin. There's nothing like working on a new magical stone and seeing it kick some ass. Silver fairy dust envelopes Ella's hands. I've been wanting to do this ever since that troll at my parents' office. Ella's magic spins through the air, reminding me of so many pinwheels. The power encircles each troll in the place. Once the magic vanishes, the trolls all rush off in one direction, toward the mice. I can't help but chuckle. Ella's a swarm fee. She mentioned that her best animals are pigeons and mice. Right now, the trolls are scrambling about on all fours while sticking their noses up in the air. Total mouse behaviour. After that, the trolls follow a group of real mice who lead them around in circles. The chihuahua yaps along with the group. I let out a low whistle. What a spell. More trolls appear. They must have been hiding for a sneak attack. This time the animates go to work. The phoenixes burst into flames, while the scarecrows and suit of armour take down the trolls in hand-to-hand combat. The sight makes me want to cheer. There's no time to celebrate, however. The many potion masters raise their vials and smash them into the ground. This time the vials don't shatter. Instead, each one of them lets off a steam of sickly green smoke. These are the reverse of potion burst spells, where shattering the vials starts the casting. In these potions, called forevers, these mist canisters will go on spouting spells for all eternity. That is, unless the bottles are destroyed. Not an easy thing to do. Forevers are a smart choice for these potion masters. I'll give them that. A wall of emerald haze quickly forms around them. It's an excellent protective barrier, yet it won't stop Wilhelm and his crew. Axes raised high, the dwarves let out a battle yell and rush straight to the emerald cloud. The smoke seeks them out, surrounding each dwarf. The dwarfs fall to their knees, coughing. I pull in fresh magic from my stone. Ella summons more fairy dust. The process isn't instant, though. It takes time to gather enough power, and then even longer to focus the energy into a specific casting. Will we get to the dwarfs in time? Turns out, another group is focused on Wilhelm and his crew, Brian Knox, and their pack rush toward the emerald haze. The werewolves move in. The pack pins down the potion masters. Dwarves are tough fighters in any situation, but Wilhelm and his crew see me as their adopted son. They'll fight to the death, and I love them for the loyalty. Still coughing, the dwarfs rise and march over to the potion masters. Then they go after the forevers. Blow after blow rains down on the metallic canisters. The forevers spark and crackle, but they don't break. Even so, the dwarfs don't give up. Boom, boom, boom. One by one the forevers shatter. Each canister breaks. A dwarf falls over, exhausted. If we live through this, I'm throwing Wilhelm's crew a roast meat celebration that will last 3 days, minimum. The green smoke dies down, revealing the only fighters left standing. Now it's down to Diamond, Legend, Marchesa and Charles. All against me and Ella. I have the eyes behind a mother, which makes more of a spectator than a warrior. Diamond shivers. I can't be part of this. I do a double take. My mother's actually showing some heart. It's unexpected, but it's welcome. No, Legend rounds in air. Le Charme first. You're wrong, whispers Diamond. There are limits. Charles speaks to Diamond. I'll escort the lady out of trouble. I'm not leaving, says Diamond. Perhaps we just stand aside then, offers Charles. Diamond nods. My mother looks down. Even so, there's no missing the tears dropping from the top of her nose. Charles walks her over to the far wall. Ivy skitters along, behind them. Am I surprised that Charles turned out to be a coward? Not in particular. For centuries he's been hiding behind his bargain with the Queen of Hearts. Marchesa strolls up to Ella, a large blue vial clutched in her hand. How I've looked forward to this moment. Same here, says Ella. My father moves to stand before me as well. Le charme first. My next word feels torn from my soul. I know. All this time, Ella and I have been pulling in fresh power for our next spell. There's trouble, though. Ella may be powerful, but she doesn't know how to wield her magic very well yet. And quickly recharging magic is a senior level skill. Standing beside Ella, I can't help but notice how there's only a paltry amount of fairy dust encircling her fingertips. I'm not much better off. In my mind, I reach out to the midnight diamond. Ready? A rusty voice sounds in my head. The tone is distant and tired, as it can be. I've been through this before. My midnight diamond is about empty. Not that I'm shocked. It just took down 50 of the most powerful gemcasters in the world. This time, it's Legend who launches the fight. Destroy, he cries. Ella and I release our spells. Marchesa and Legend do the same. Sickly wisps of silver power wind up from Ella's hand. My stone glows inside my palm. Then it falls dark. Didn't even get a single tendril of magic out of the thing. Meanwhile, Marchesa tosses a vial to the ground. The glass container shatters. A healthy column of blue smoke heads for Ella. The mist congeals into blue bands that tie up Ella's hands, feet, and neck. Ella topples over, grasping for breath. A flare of white light erupts from Legend's fists. The brightness vanishes. In its place, Legend now holds a gleaming spear-like diamond. My father thrusts the weapon into my chest. Pain erupts from my rib cage. I crumple to my knees. All the while, my focus stays on Ella. She's choking. I must save her. As I crawl over to Ella, I'm barely aware of Marchesa and Legend glaring in my direction. Somewhere in the distance, my mother weeps. The wares and animates try to battle closer, but the others keep throwing magical explosions in their path. Brian Knox's wolf howls echo through the air, yet I can't focus on any of that. Ella's skin is turning a pale shade of blue. I crawl forward. Blood pools on the floor around me. Still, I drag myself to Ella's side. The cords around her neck have turned into a thick sapphire-coloured ribbon that perfectly matches the trimming on Ella's gown. Such a cruel touch from Marchesa. With every fibre on my soul, I wish to tear the blue cords from around Ella's neck. I wriggle my fingers under the ribbon, but she's only able to take in the barest of gasps. It won't be enough. My voice chokes with a sob as I force out a single word. Sorry. No, says Ella through blue lips. Happy. Nothing but love shines in her bloodshot eyes. I collapse onto my side and grasp her hand in mine. Ella's skin is so cold. If this is my end, at least it's with Ella. A voice echoes across the studio. Stop! Suddenly, the cords fall free from Ella's throat. The diamond spear vanishes from my torso. I pat my chest, finding no wound. In shock, I scan the studio. Who stopped this exactly? I quickly spy the speaker. Of course, it's the Queen of Hearts. Ella. I pull in gasp after gasp of sweet air. At first my head feels easy. As I pull in more breath, my mind clears. Did that really happen? Did the Queen of Hearts really just yell stop and free both me and Alec? I reach out and pat Alec's chest. Sure enough, his wound is completely healed over. The only sign of Legend's attack is a hole in Alec's tuxedo jacket. Speaking of Legend, he turns to the Queen. Orbs of red magic and light appear on each of his outstretched palms. The Queen sniffs. Really? She snaps her fingers. The spheres of power vanish. Legend isn't giving up, though. New and larger orbs materialize. The spheres glow bright red and hover just above his hands. The Queen rolls her eyes. Enough! The Queen reaches forward and grips at what looks like empty space. It isn't. As the Queen pulls her arms back, the veil between this world and the fairylands fade. To my eyes, the Le Charme overlaps with a vision of wide field of white grass. It's surrounded by a line of white trees with crimson leaves, and there are warriors, hundreds and hundreds of them. The Queen's vampire god. The Queen lowers her arm. The transformation's complete. All signs of the Elf Centre vanish. Everyone now stands in the clearing. The Queen looms before us. Is it just me? Or does she seem taller now? The Queen waves her hand. Gods! The warriors fall out. Every caster and troll gets held down by at least half a dozen of the Queen's warriors. Some try to fight or cast counter spells. Nothing works. Soon our opposing army is now restrained. All except for one. It's Charles. The Le Charme founder marches up to the Queen. What's all this? Demands Charles. We have a bargain. At this point, something silky purrs by my ankle. Looking down, I find Chesh mewing at my side. I scoop him into my arms. Your Majesty, our quest is complete. We found your cat. We did, asked Alec. He spies what's in my arms. We did? In arms, Chesh licks his lips. Jerry says hi. Alec and I share a dry look. Jerry was totally the Cheshire Cat all the time. What a stinker. How nice, states the Queen. Bring me my feline, and you may claim your reward. She turns to Charles. I'm sure you noticed what just happened here. Yes, you're a liar and an oath-breaker. No, says the Queen sweetly. I just won our first bet. My brows lift. She won the bet. Hoisting Chesh higher in my arms, I march over to the Queen. Alec steps along to my side. This'll be good. And that's the next part of Ella and Alec. Wow. Thank you for tuning in, guys, and please join me for the next episode. Many blessings.